Tamara, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the ENTP, which is one of the 16 Myers Briggs personality types. So if I had one word to describe the ENTP, it would be charming. They know how to draw people in. There's something very engaging about the ENTP, very exciting, charismatic. They just really have something that's very attractive. This type is liked by many people. They're usually quite popular. If I want to have a really in-depth conversation, a great person to go to would be an ENTP because they're so open that you can really delve into any topic and you can really get a lot of depth. They have a patience with that. So they're very good conversationalists on a variety of different topics. They enjoy it, they will engage with you, and they can help you to find deeper understanding. They can be a lot of fun, cool people to hang out with. They usually have kind of their own swag. They really like people. And if they don't, they really seem to like people because that's the kind of energy that they put out. They're usually very outgoing, very friendly. They know a lot of people. They can deal with and handle any type of people, whether you're easy to deal with or difficult. If you're difficult to deal with, the ENTP is up to that challenge as well. They can handle it. In fact, they would welcome the challenge. They are the great debaters. I think more than any other type, they can debate somebody under the table. If you want to get into a good sparring match, many of them like a good argument. They can get pretty loud, they can get pretty heated, they can get pretty excited because they're gonna come at you from all angles and they're gonna get pleasure from kind of giving you that surprise left hook, that uppercut, you know. I think in that sense they would make a great lawyer, or they would feel very drawn and attracted because they're going to look at things from different angles, and because they don't mind arguing a point of view, which is something that they specialize in and that they naturally do very well. They might have little workplace arguments going. It can be this ongoing problem or issue that they're having with somebody. They have the patience to drag that on. Usually their opponent will give up at some point, try to make friends, try to get that ENTP on their good side, because the ENTP doesn't mind going down with a really good fight. They're gonna figure out how to win, and they're not gonna stop very easily, because I think in fact they get energy from that kind of exchange. Conflict doesn't bother them as much. Could be because they're also thinkers, so that makes them very objective. Argumentative, absolutely, probably more so than most. Many times they can be so engaging, so curious, so interested in someone that they make you feel like they're really caring about what it is that you're saying, because they're interested in a variety of different viewpoints, and they can be such people when it comes to a relationship. They may lose track of their mate's feelings. They could start taking that mate for granted, or because they're not a feeling type, they may forget to tap into or disregard what their mate's feelings are, or what their mate is telling them. Hey, this is an issue for me. They might disregard it, go into that debate mode. They're great at entertaining someone's point of view because that's what they like, because then it sprouts new ideas for them. But when they're in a relationship, the person that they're with also has a different viewpoint that needs to be taken into consideration, that could be extremely important. And maybe sometimes if they're disregarding their mate's viewpoint, it could be really hurtful and really painful. That combination of the N and that P, plus you add extraversion to that, endless possibilities that go on forever. They should wear a shirt that says infinity. They have their thinking preference, which helps them to be very objective and logical. But that N and that P together, it has a life of its own. Sometimes it's just going in a million different directions. They can come up with some really phenomenal, incredible ideas. They have the patience to play around, come up with new things, and that can be an enormous amount of fun. But the area that they really struggle in, they don't have that J. Many of them are not good at finishing what they start. They're going to have a million different things that they started and they never finish it. And if they finished it, gosh, they probably would be like, this is amazing, which they usually get to feel that feeling because they usually surround themselves with people who can close those deals for them. Closing deals is hard work. It doesn't mean that ENTPs can't or finish something they start. In fact, I know several ENTPs that are great at this. They've developed that, or maybe they had a parent growing up that insisted. ENTPs can be very loyal and devoted to the people that they love and that they care about. They can be your biggest advocate. They can really fight for you. They can be fantastic when you have a problem. Now, if you're not in their inner circle, they can remain very objective, very competitive, and play the game. They have this polar opposite thing that's going. They sort of like to get your goat. They like to get a rise out of people. Like, they really get a kick out of that, and they're very good. I mean, they will have you looking sideways sometimes, like, what are you talking about? Where are you coming from? They like shock value. They like to shock. They sort of don't mind yanking the rug from under you a little bit and seeing you kind of wobble, because they know how to get reactions out of people, but it's usually like a spar, saying one thing that really means another. They can have your head spinning in circles. You definitely don't want to tangle with them. You could get caught in their spider web and be tangled up and figuring out, okay, how do I get out of this? Because they're very verbal. They could fill your ears with the most romantic words ever. They can make an awkward situation comfortable because they'll make you laugh. They'll start acting kind of silly, and they can have a very funny, humorous side. They can also be great convincers because they can be relentless at getting you to buy into whatever it is that they want to try, or whatever it is that they want to do. They often are very high energy. They can be kind of hyperactive, very strong-willed, but also very straightforward. They say exactly what they mean, and they can be biting. That NT temperament tends to be a very strong, dominating temperament. They can be high maintenance. It's my way or the highway. Like, this is how we're doing things, and I'm not going to back off because this is how I want it done. NTs can have that perfectionistic component. I want things done a certain way. They might hold people to a slightly different standard than they hold themselves. And there's also a part of them that can be easy to please. They can be really fun to give gifts to because they're going to express to you how much they really like it. Some of them have the need to take people under their wings and show them the way. They can be very intrigued and interested in theology and the church and the Bible. They just understand it. Because they're so friendly, they're probably going to have a lot of social media friends. I went to a party recently for an ENTP, and everybody there was like, she's my best friend. So when they connect with people, they really connect. They have a natural ability to play hard to get, and they can be very flirtatious if they want to be. And some of them might even have more than one person that they're talking to because they're so interested in people. But not necessarily. Everybody can be loyal. There are some areas in life where you really need to consider how are my actions going to affect other people? And they may not realize the sacrifices that other people are making on their behalf. Before just running into an idea, consider what the impact is gonna be. Now, I've met some ENTPs who are great at money and really budgeting in, but then there are some ENTPs that aren't very good. Too much detail they have to focus on, or they're focused on something else, and I'll get to that in a minute. But they can also kind of go into this introverted mode, having that alone time to be independent, and they might actually have moments of feeling very lonely. They're not going to show that side. They're always going to show this confident, hey, I got this. They also like to read people with speed. That way they can always be 2 steps ahead of the game. And part of what you're saying is that they have extroverted intuition. They're going to sort of call you out on things that they notice or that they see. They might express that out loud. They can generate more ideas than most types. They can also be good business leaders as well. They're strong-willed, charismatic. Sometimes they don't realize how much work and energy it takes to develop those ideas, and so that's why sometimes they will delegate those out to people. They're spontaneous, they're fun, they're whimsical. They don't like to be closed in on anything. They're great at drawing people in. They're people magnets. People like them. People like to be around them, but they can become secretly overwhelmed by too many interactions and then start feeling that need for space. Sometimes they can be mistaken for feelers because they do care about people and they want to help. They also like to be in control of their time and their circumstances. They live life to the fullest. They could easily be voted most popular, and they like bending the rules. They feel very passionately about things, and they also like to ask a lot of questions to things to get deeper and greater understanding. They may also get frustrated by setbacks. That might be very stifling to them. ENTPs really are very good at analyzing things, and they enjoy delving into the complex. They have patience for that, and they're very knowledgeable about a lot of different subjects, and they have lots of different interests, which can be very, very inspiring to the people who are around them. They're not the type of people that believe we have to do things in a set way or here are the rules. Thank goodness we have people in the world with the patience to tinker around with ideas, because that is what makes the world so much better. They're very open to trying things and seeing if they work. They're very good at improvising on something. They can follow a very deep and complex train of thought. They can take rules that have always been in a place or workplace, and they can figure out how to outwit those ideas or take it to a different level than was expected. They're more interested in understanding the underlying levels and things that are going on, rather than you're a bad person or this is a bad place or this is just so terrible. They have a very positive outlook on life, and that can be really contagious to people. How can I make these people have a good time? How can I make them enjoy themselves more? P. Diddy is an example of an ENTP. Sometimes he could be really tough, but he also likes to throw great parties and make people have a really good time. And he has a lot of different businesses that intrigue him. They're supremely intelligent people who are fearless when it comes to taking risks, even though they can be very intense and complex. They just like to have fun and enjoy life. I have always been very intrigued by ENTPs. There might be some things about their personality that is different from my personality, but I still always feel drawn to them. It's a very intriguing and fun type, and I'm sure they love being ENTPs. I'm sure it's great fun every day. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed my video and hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching my video. Bye, people.